Thanks for joining us for 5 on 5. I'm Joe Sullivan. Pleased to be joined today by Medford City Councilor Nick Card. Nick, thanks for being here.
Great to be here, Joe. Thanks so much.
We're talking about Measure 15238, and this is on the ballot in Medford this fall. Creekside Quarter. For those unfamiliar with this project, please tell us about it.
So Creekside Quarter is a once-in-a-generational redevelopment opportunity for us in downtown Medford. We are looking at putting a hotel, a conference center, new parking, residential, and a stadium in downtown Medford. That is Hawthorne Park and the old Inn at the Commons.
What's the significant economic impact it could bring to the region through jobs, tourism, and community investment?
Well, absolutely. So what we have on the ballot here is the first step at funding an important piece of Creekside Quarter, which is the conference center. We did a feasibility study on the conference center. This is billions of dollars of economic development for our region, $1.69 billion to be exact.
And what are the funds generated through 15238 going to? What priorities are made with this money?
So Measure 15238 is what's called the transient lodging tax. This is a tax on visitors who stay in hotels. That money is going to be allocated to the conference center component, which is really that core economic driver, the Creekside Quarter piece.
I think that's important what you said here, because on the ballot, it says, shall Medford City Council by ordinance impose and levy a transient lodging tax not exceeding 13% on gross room receipts. So this, if you're at home and say, I don't want my taxes going up, this is not a real deal for that, right?
Correct, yeah. This is not a property tax. It's not a fee. This is a tax that visitors pay. So this is us making people from California and Portland pay for stuff for our valley.
And this is something that's been done in other places, correct, with this transient tax?
Absolutely. It's part of how we funded the Rogue X development on the west side of town.
And that's encouraging, too. I mean, Rogue X has been a tremendous success.
Absolutely. This is the next step for us in terms of building on these community resources to create this kind of economic impact. And this conference center is, again, it's a key piece of this once-in-a-generation development.
So what are the biggest potential challenges or obstacles to Creekside Quarter vision becoming a reality?
Like any big project, there are always going to be pitfalls. There are always challenges that we're going to face as we go through the development. Things that we want to happen don't quite happen the way we expect to happen. And so as a city, our goal is to put the pieces together so that way, no matter what kind of pitfalls we run into, what challenges, we can still bring this entire development to reality.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and be right back with part 2 of our 5 on 5. Stay with us. I'm Joe Sullivan. Welcome back to part 2 of our 5 on 5 with Medford City Councilor Nick Card. We're talking about Measure 15238, the Creekside Quarter Plan. What's the history behind this, and how did the concept come together?
Well, so a few years back, we as part of our community, a priority was to bring a conference center to Medford. We wanted to bring that space. There was a need in our community. We did a feasibility study. That feasibility study said, time for a conference center isn't now, but you know what you need is an aquatic center. And that's what got us Rogue X. Well, we've revisited that question, and the time is now for a conference center. So with that study in hand, looking at the economic drivers of the conference center, how that's going to help the community, that sort of launched this entire Creekside Quarter vision.
What's the next steps in this project, and what is the timeline?
Timeline is always tricky. In a project of this scale, there's a lot of things that can run aground. I think in a perfect world, we'd love to see that we're breaking ground within the next couple years, and we have most of this developed within 5 years. That's probably really optimistic. It's likely going to take longer as different bumps and obstacles show up along the way.
If you could speak to the voters right now, and you are in Medford, what would you tell them? Why vote for this?
You know, one of the things is that I think I'm here because I'm a city councilor, but really, if I put on my Medford resident hat, I would still want to be right here talking about this project. The thing that I hear again and again from people in Medford is we need to do something downtown. We need to bring life back to downtown. This project is about doing just that.
What other areas are you in the council working on that we should know about?
There's always new projects, there's new opportunities happening for the city. We're working right now to try to bring a medical school to Medford. There's a study that we did that showed there's some feasibility on bringing a medical school here. If we're able to pull that off, that would be a really exciting thing. There are major infrastructure projects around the valley. There's a lot of opportunity for Medford, and I think Creekside Quarter represents a really exciting fix for some of the downtown problems.
I was going to say, this is an exciting time for Medford.
Absolutely. We're doing things today that if you had told me even 5 years ago that these would be the things we're exploring in Medford, I'd say you're full of it. It is an exciting time to be in Medford.
All right, Nick, thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with more local news.